With me, I gotta adjust my settings real quick. It says PS camera videos on. I don't know why it's saying it's not. Huh. Oh well, whatever. Okay, so what is up? I'm gonna try to speak as low as I possibly can. Not trying to be real loud. Because here earlier I was just complaining about people outside my apartment building who find it necessary to go outside and speak as loudly as they can on their phone. And not only that, but making sure everybody can hear their business when they're airing out their dirty laundry. And I was telling my wife, I was like, that's just something that irritates me, that people do that. And then when you go out there to tell them, hey, stop flapping your gums, take that inside, they're like, mind your own business. Yeah, I was minding my own business, I was doing my own thing. We were playing video games, rocking out on some PlayStation, at 38 years old, enjoying what little bit of a good life I have left in this world. And then I have to hear you flapping on about some chick that's messing around with some other guy that you were friends with for several years and you thought you trusted and all this other stuff. I don't care about all that. You think I wanted to listen to a soap opera for the next 30 minutes to an hour? No, they tell you to mind your own business. So mind your own business. Why are you listening? Why are you listening? Well, I was trying not to, and then you made me. You basically raped my ears. You came in here and you forced your issues inside my ear canal. I didn't want it in there. I didn't want to have all that inside my brain, but you forced it in there. But anyways, stuff like that. I try to have some respect when I don't like my neighbors, just to put that on the record. I don't like my neighbors. They're disrespectful and irritating, obnoxious a-holes, but even though, that's the case, I try to be respectful on my side so that nobody can say, well, that guy's loud, he's, obnoxious, he's constantly, putting himself out there like that. No, I don't do that. I try to keep it down. Anytime I watch TV or I play my game, I have my headphones on. It's not that I have to. I don't have to. I can just turn my TV volume up if I wanted to, but I don't. I almost never do. I usually always keep my headphones on. Forgot how I'm supposed to... I don't know if I can jump or... Okay, what's this thing doing now? Oh. Why did it freeze me in place? It's a weird function. It's not showing any menu options. I don't know why it's freezing my character into place. Oh, that's why. It wasn't showing up in front of me. Okay, so... No, not what I want to do. No, still not what I want to do. How do you jump? How do you move? Oh, okay, here we go. I'm just going to float in the air. I don't know what the purpose of putting stairs on here is if I'm just going to float. Yeah, this is VR. This is just Discovery VR. It's kind of like Minecraft. It's a major Minecraft ripoff. But it was in VR before they updated Minecraft for VR, so I mean, it's not a bad game. It's nice. This whole thing here that you see, I created myself. It took me like 3 hours to put this together, believe it or but this is like an entire labyrinth that I created. I use the checkered pattern to kind of throw you off of where you're at. I'm not even anywhere near done with it. I still got a long ways to go. Now there's some jackass and they're blaring their horn. So that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about right there. You can't just simply pull up, call the person up on the phone. I mean, all the technology in the world that we have. These, these assholes are like, what's the most annoying way I can make myself known? Oh, I know. I'll pull up full speed into the parking lot and just, blare off an air horn. Like something you would hear off of a freight train or something. There's actually a door there. I forgot what I put in this thing. Everything is just so backwards. No, the front door is over there. That's downstairs. That goes downstairs. This is the front door over there. So, this is the main entrance to go downstairs. I made a dummy entrance on there too, to kind of throw you off, to make you think that you found the main entrance, but it's actually not. It just leads you into a circle. I haven't finished that yet. I want to finish it up and make it a little bit more confusing. But enough about that. I don't know. I live in a bad neighborhood anyways. I'm trying to get out of this side of Louisville. I'm trying to get to a better side. A side that hasn't been completely wrecked and destroyed by people who want to loot and riot and destroy everything around them and then make demands after they do so. It's just the dumbest thing to do, to destroy everything around you and then demand respect and some kind of, payment. That's like a little kid wrecking their room, just knocking stuff off, knocking their TV off the desk or off their TV stand, whatever. When I was a kid, it was a desk. It wasn't a TV stand. My parents had a giant desk they had in my room, and then they had like a little 20-something inch TV, with the knobs that make that racketing sound when you turn them. Yeah, that's what I had. Probably one of the most, brain-irking things you can have in your house is an old TV, old tube-style TV. But, it's like it's like a kid throwing a fit in their room, knocking their TV off the entertainment center stand, whatever. Throwing their toys all over the place, punching a hole in the wall, and then when their parents come in and they say, okay, I did all this now because you didn't give me what I want, but as soon as you do that, I'll stop tearing my room. That pretty much sums up all these movements, all these special interest groups that think it's a good idea to destroy everything around them and then be demanding afterwards. Yeah, it never worked. Never worked for anybody. In the history of throwing temper tantrums, I've never seen that work. Unless the parents are just complete cucks and they're so afraid that their kid will keep on for the next 2 or 3 hours. They just give them whatever they want. Take them to Walmart, let them pick any toy off the shelf. Well, that's $200 down the drain. That's society in a nutshell. That's pretty much where we've come to. But, speaking of which, social justice warriors that I hate that they even have the W in that. That nobody that has anything to do with that type of movement is a warrior in any way, shape, form, or fashion. They're entitled little brats that think they'll get their point across if they do exactly what I was mentioning before, which is throwing a temper tantrum, telling you what you have to do to make them feel better. I mean, just the arrogance behind that, you know? The arrogance to suggest that you have to do what makes them feel okay with themselves, and if you don't, you're the asshole, not the person throwing a fit. I was mentioning that Bill Burr situation in my last video. I probably should have, titled that video in a more specific manner to show that that's what I was discussing, but that's okay. I don't expect many people to watch my videos anyways. Put a light right there so I can see what I'm doing. It's a very nifty game. I like this. Where's my... There it is. Okay, so I gotta find the right bricks. I don't know which brick style this is. I think it's cobblestone. That's what I think it is. Let's see. Yeah, it's the right one. Okay, I just want to make sure. Alright, so I'm at the very bottom level, so I'll just dig a little bit further this way. So there's obviously something already here. Yeah, that's a hallway. Crap. I think I've went about as far as I can go on here. That's not good. So what I'll probably try to do is I'll set that back up. But with the Bill Burr thing, sorry, I got off track for a second there. You know, I was discussing that in my last video. Just the way the media treats this poor guy. Well, I don't want to say poor guy. I don't want to treat him like he's a defensive or defenseless. Not defensive. Defenseless. I don't want to, make it come off as if like the man can't stand up for himself. But just to be attacked over something that they most likely didn't prepare him for to begin with. They didn't go over these names of this guy. They didn't sit here and say, okay, now this is how you pronounce it. Okay, this is the this is the vernacular here. No, that's not what they did. They threw him into a ocean filled with sharks and didn't have the common decency to put him in a cage. That's what they did. And they knew exactly how people would react. They baited him into that. I guarantee you they did. I don't know what his feelings on the matter are, but that's just how I think things went down. I think they did that on purpose. They knew how the media was going to react to it. They knew how everybody was going to react to it, so they threw him to the sharks. What a bunch of pricks, right? Okay, so dig out. Oh, and it leads off to this. Well, I guess that's actually kind of a good thing. Hold up, yeah, that might actually be a good thing. Is this the dummy room? Maybe? I don't know. Did I just dig a hole to the dummy room? Yeah, I think it did. Oh well, you know what? Screw it, I'll run with it. I'm kind of lazy today anyway. I'm not trying to put too much effort into this. But yeah, they fed this poor man to the sharks, you know. And they'll continue to do this. So they'll continue to throw a fit about anything they can to get some sort of attention. Sorry, I'm easily distracted. Some nice background music going on here. So that's something I can say I liked about Minecraft. You know, at first I didn't like Minecraft when it first popped on the scene. I was like, I can see this being more fit for the demographic of 12-year-olds and below, but it's actually a very relaxing game. Like, I can't even knock it. Oh, what am I doing? I'm not even putting up the right thing. With the Bill Burr situation, you know, I keep trailing off every time I try to add on to that. You know, it just got ridiculous, and it won't stop with him. You know, that really all this was just a reaction to the Gina Carano thing. I think I'm saying her name right. God forbid I butcher anybody's name. You know, because this is exactly what the huge issue was with him. You know, everybody really started blowing up on him was because he took up for her. And, you know, Lord forbid that you have an opinion of your own. Lord forbid you're not the kind of person that believes that you should, you know, take a piss in your own bed and then blame everybody else for your wet sheets. Because generally that's, you know, that's the progressive way of doing things according to today's standard. Today's societal standard. Piss in your own bed and blame everybody else for your wet sheets. Play the victim. Being the victim is an easy thing to do, isn't it? Like I said, the pretentiousness of being, you know, playing the victim while trying to call yourself a warrior at the same time. I'm a warrior. No, you're not. You're a victim, remember? Pick one. Stick with it. Either you're a victim or you're a warrior. You can't be both. I can be a survivor. Bitch, what have you survived? Will you survive someone saying a couple of hurtful things? Is that what it is? Someone said something you didn't agree with, and now you feel like you're stuck in the in Auschwitz version of criticism. I don't know. I'm horrible at analogies, but yeah. So you're the victim, huh? You should start feeling bad for you, not the people that you're berating and referring to as evil and entitled, or no, that's not the term they use. Privileged, yeah. The ones who you think it's okay for other people to riot against, pull out their cars, assault them, get them fired from their jobs because of a Twitter post or because of something they liked on Facebook. Really? You're gonna fuck with somebody's entire life? Excuse my language. I'm sorry. To anyone that hears this, that's completely against using foul language. Well, you might not know who Bill Burr is, but I try not to cuss. I'm trying to better myself. I'm not trying to use foul language. Not that I'm better than anybody for not using it. I'm just saying I'm trying to better myself by my own standard. No. But people are just ignorant to think that it's ever okay to destroy everything around you. And then have the audacity to call everyone else the problem. Oh, Bill Burr is racist. He mispronounced those poor people's names, and on top of that, he said something about the gay community, the LGBT. No, it wasn't the LGBT community. Who did he say about? Feminists. Yeah, that's what it was. He's going on about. He made like one slight statement about feminism. About feminists, how the feminists would react to it. And look, you proved him right. The funny part of it all. The funny part of it all is you proved the man right. He said exactly what you would do, and you did it. You gave leverage to what he said. You reacted the exact way he said you would react. And you're mad because he called you on that? I mean, you should be mad at yourself, if anything, if you're one of those people out there that thinks he's such a horrible white cisgendered misogynist that's overreacting about a little statement he made right after he was it before or after he introduced everybody? I can't remember. But regardless, the fact that he called you out on it, that's what you got mad over, that he called you out on it. He emphasized, put emphasis on how you would react as an overly sensitive, self-victimizing, self-oppressing feminist. You're mad that he was right about that, is what it comes down to. You should be less mad about him being right about it and more mad about the fact that you proved him right through your actions. Ah, man. This generation is just, I don't know, it's batshit crazy. Nobody believes in respect anymore. Nobody believes in the idea of having a differing opinion. If you have a differing opinion, well, I guess screw you for having one, because you're the problem if your opinion differs from anybody else's. This is the same crowd of people that at one point in high school was mad because they were treated differently for having a different way of life, a different way of doing things, different viewpoints. There were the kids at school that were nerdy and had different lifestyles. We're getting tired of being picked on and bullied. And now they're starting to become the very things that they hated when they were younger. And that's what this comes down to. This generation is basically just, the type of people that are pushing this kind of narrative, of canceling everything, are the very people that complain about being picked on and bullied, that complain because they were treated differently. Now they've grown to see themselves turn into the very things that they hated when they were young. Cancel culture. You can't cancel everything you don't agree with. It's like I said in my last video, you're going to grow up to... You're going to grow up to... or not grow up. I don't know what I'm going on with here. This world's going to grow into a place where you can't do anything. You can't wipe your ass the wrong way. Someone might take offense. You'll be exiled. You know, or put to death. That's what I think things are going to come down to. I think these fanatics, these leftist assholes are just going to get so fanatical about it. They're going to get so extreme with shit. They're going to start demanding death sentences for people who have differing opinions or differing lifestyles. Hey, you know, it's funny because those very same people were the ones that were out here screaming and calling other people Nazis. You remember that? Remember when that was still a thing? I think they still do that, actually. Funny enough. Yeah, they still do that. I don't support fucking Nazis. Okay, so let me get this straight. You don't support Nazis. Idealistically, Nazis as referring to 1940 era style Nazis, you know, the ones who believed in segregation of the Jews and mistreatment of them, taking away their rights, taking away their ability to have a free opinion, taking away their ability to protect themselves, such as firearms. The Nazis did that. They disarmed the Jews and the Jewish people and those who supported them. They disarmed them. And then they segregated them from most of society. They used the media to create a biased propaganda to demonize the Jews. And eventually they started executing them. They use them for labor and they start executing them. Some of this sounds a little familiar, doesn't it? You can even apply some of this methodology to the way that the far left sees things and how they, want things to go down. And what kills me is, I can maybe understand the outrage from like the black community, not fully, not to the degree that some of them carry on with, but I can understand some of the outrage. But to suggest that white folks need to be killed because you think they're privileged and you think that they're inherently privileged or inherently racist or whatever, it's just crazy. It's batshit crazy stuff. It's the same kind of shit that the Nazis, the same kind of rhetoric the Nazis went with. And it's funny is a lot of the people that are yelling and spouting out this shit are white folks. Now let's be fair here, because I don't want to take away the attention from this fact, but a lot of far left black activist groups, such as Black Lives Matter and the Black Hebrew Israelites and all them, they are very anti-white. They do believe in putting white folks to death. They believe their skin color is not accepting of heaven, of God's grace. They do. They believe white folks are pretty much the devil, that they'll go to hell just because of their skin color alone. Now you got different branches of the Hebrew Israelites. Some say they don't believe that way, but they really do. They just don't want to come out and say it because they don't want to get scrutinized by, most of or from the rest of the black community in the U.S. and Canada. But then a majority of the black Israelites will, or they call themselves black Hebrew Israelites. If you're familiar with your history, if you're familiar with any kind of biblical scripture or even Judaic practices and beliefs, then you know that what they say is not scriptural, it's not factual, it's not based off of actual Jewish history and customs. They twist certain scriptures of the Bible out of context. But, they'll come out, a majority of them will come out and will straight up say that they, think that white folks are cursed and that they're the devil. And they'll refer to them as Edomites. And they hate white folks altogether. And some of these white progressives, they support groups like that. And when you get people within the black community that are of course smart and have a common sense and say this is not productive, this kind of way of thinking doesn't help anybody, what happens? What I say in my last video, what do they get called? They get called all sorts of names. They get compared to being servants. They get compared to being lesser than. Because that's what these, that's the mentality of these groups. That in itself should speak volumes about how these people think. They say that they're for their own community, they say that they're for their own people, but they're not. They don't care about all that. They just want to feel special. So they rip off an entire religion, an entire group of people who adhere to that religion. They rip off their customs, their practices, and their identity. And they say, no, we're the real ones. And they scrutinize anyone of their race that supports that supports being level-headed and not blaming one particular race or culture or people for their problems. Whatever happened to that whole equality thing? Whatever happened with that? I mean, not referring to black Hebrew Israelites, but I'm just saying in general, a lot of these far leftists, a few years back, were out here in the streets protesting, saying that they believe in equality and peace and love and all this other stuff. Whatever happened to peace and love? I guess that only applies when it works out for them, when it benefits them. Peace and love is not really what they want. They're entitled brats. They're the same generation of brats, little, college student kids who study, some of these college study courses that don't really benefit them in any way. It doesn't benefit society. It's not productive. Women's studies and all this other stuff that doesn't ultimately help women get by. It just teaches them that they scream loud enough and piss and complain loud enough that someone will eventually hand them what they want. It's this generation of people that were part of that whole no child left behind concept, Well, a lot of the other kids do good in school and they've done their work, they worked hard and they got good grades and they got to the top of their class. We got to make sure that poor Billy, gets the same treatment, even though he didn't study nearly as hard. He goofed off in class all the time. He got in trouble with the principal all the time. He got into fights. He mouthed off to his teacher every chance he got. I know that's not everybody's circumstance, so, I'm not generalizing every kid that has a hard time in school. Some people genuinely have learning disabilities, or just disabilities in general that prevents them from being able to study and understand certain subjects that other kids may be able to breeze through. But that being the exception, that some kids genuinely have learning disabilities. But outside of that exception, there's some of these kids that grew up that just, they didn't try their hardest. They got a pat on the head and got a passing grade for practically not trying at all. They're the kids that are growing up in a generation where when you run a race, everybody gets a trophy. Everybody gets a prize. Doesn't matter if, you came in 3rd place, 4th place, 5th place. You're just as good as a guy that exercised and trained his ass off and came in 1st place because of all that hard work and that effort. I don't believe in that. I believe the person who works the hardest gets the better results. And there's a reason for that. There's a reason why the guy who works the hardest gets the better results. Oh, man. I don't know. Society is so dumbed down. This country is going in the shitter. We got a president that's a complete dipshit. And we got a VP who pretty much supports any far-left extremist narrative that she can possibly side up with. So as soon as, crazy, creepy Joe Biden ends up getting booted out of his position in office, because that's what's going to happen, they're going to end up saying he's incompetent to do his job, so they'll have to replace him with Harris. We've all seen this coming. The conservative side of the fence has been saying this since before he even got elected. They've been saying, watch. Okay, he's going to be found to be incompetent to do his presidential duties, and they're going to use that as a way to get Harris to take charge. Because I don't think they fully trust Biden to uphold a lot of the far left policies that they want to push. I think don't get me wrong, I don't think that he's a good guy for this or anything. I think there are some things he might be a little bit more conservative in his views about that he would actually object to. And the rest of them are like, no, we gotta do this. We gotta let as much illegal immigration go on in this country as possible, because, why should we have a fence? Why should we have any laws against immigration? I mean, even though other countries have it, even though other countries are smart enough to have barriers, to have boundaries, why should we have boundaries? It's hurting the people who are coming over. It's hurting them more than it's helping them. That's why we got so many kids right now who don't have their parents with them. They're misplaced. They have to be introduced into this country as legal immigrants, but then they're going to be put into foster care. Like the same crowd of people now, the same crowd of people that argue against pro-lifers and say, well, what's your next option? You're just going to put them in foster care homes. If you keep the kid, you're just going to put them in foster care homes, and they're going to be shot through from foster home to foster home, and it's just going to be a horrible way for them to live. Now they're suddenly okay with foster care. Now they're suddenly okay with the kids from another country getting displaced, getting taken away from their parents, and put in foster care. They're fine with that now. Just so long as we can get more immigration in. Because we might have some people who are coming in with their kids, but then we got a shit ton of kids who are coming in by themselves, who are left by themselves. So, the far left can't keep up with their own principles, their own views and ideas. They contradict themselves at every corner, at every turn. Just like that witch Nancy Pelosi, I can't stand her. I never could stand her. I'm usually the kind of person I try to give everybody a chance to some degree. Even if I don't like them, even if I think they're just the nastiest piece of human trash in the face of this planet, I still try to give them some kind of credit, some kind of level of, some kind of level of respect. Maybe, maybe they'll change their minds and they'll try to do something to resolve the circumstance later on down the road, try to come to the table to reason. But no, that's just one person that won't. She's just so full of herself. She's so stuck on herself and what she wants that she doesn't care about anybody else. She's proven that time and time again. Not saying that there aren't other politicians in the, out there in the ether that aren't doing the same thing. But just her specifically, I do not like her. I don't believe in heavy spending on the stimulus package. I really don't. I mean, if the government wants to give me a check, that's fine. I mean, I'm gonna spend it if you send it to me. Because I don't have the best lifestyle. I'm not higher class. But you want to give me a check, I'll take a check. But do I think that it's beneficial for the country to hemorrhage money? No, I don't think it is. I don't think it really helps. I don't think it boosts the economy as much as you think it will, or keeps the economy on some sort of a lifeline. I don't think it really helps. Especially when under the same breath that you say we're going to give $1,400 checks to every household, making under, $70,000 a year. Under the same breath, you wanna say, well, let's increase the wages to $15 an hour. Now, thank goodness, I think that actually got shot down. Thank goodness it did, because that would be stupid, especially during today's economy with the pandemic and everything. That would be a dumb thing to do. You want to pay everybody $15 an hour minimum wage when some of these small businesses are playing hell just to keep open, just to be able to afford the resources they need to have said services, to render said services. Now they gotta pay somebody a $15 an hour, pay all their employees a $15 an hour salary on top of all the other expenses that they have to fork over. They're hemorrhaging more money than they're making at that point. Oh, man. does not make sense to me at all. You know what? I'm going to finish the inside of this later. We're gonna exit this labyrinth, and I'm going to get outside and look at the outside area, because I don't remember what all I've built on this thing. But I don't know, people. Tell me what you think. Let me know. Subscribe if you want. You know, I'm not really the kind of person that cares about this sort of thing. I made that clear in my last video. But if anything, you know, if you don't subscribe, at least tell me what you think on the topic at hand. What's your opinion? Is there anything I've said that comes off as stupid or incorrect? Or, I don't know. Just tell me what you think. Let me know. So it's going to take me a minute to get through this thing. I don't even remember what direction I came from. See, I got several different little walkways and hallways. Is this the fake one or is this the real one? This might be the fake one. Yeah, this is the fake one. They don't let you run in this game for some reason. You have to go very slow. I wish I could figure out how to make like a spiral pattern, you know, in these walls to make it very disorientating. Alright, let's go this way. Yeah, but just so y'all know, I live in, like I said, I live in Louisville. I'm on a bad side of Louisville. Trying to move to a better side. I'm trying to move to Middletown. Middletown's a nice area. For now it is anyways, until Black Lives Matter and some of these other groups decide they want to throw a huge, you know, man-child temper tantrum and destroy everything. Like they did downtown Main Street. They wrecked everything. I don't know what the hell that even accomplished. I think it was over the Breonna Taylor thing. Hey, my personal opinion about the whole Breonna, I'm not going to get completely into topic on it, but just as a little piece of my take on things, as far as that goes, I don't know what kind of person Breonna Taylor was. Yeah, I don't, know how the family described her. I don't know anything about her. None. A lot of these people that are out here wrecking things don't know anything about her. But regardless, I think that what would have helped her in the long run, regardless of who was in the right, who was in the wrong, whether it was the police responding to a month or two long investigation, or whether it was her. I think things could have been solved a lot better if maybe she had, made better decisions in her life about what kind of company she keeps, what kind of people she hangs out with, who she associates herself with. Listen, if you know your dude is known for selling drugs and whatever else, or ex-boyfriend, don't continue making phone calls to the guy. Don't continue associating with somebody like that has that type of record. There are a lot of friends that I had back in the day that I've dropped because they get into stuff that I don't have any part of. And because they can't grow up and get past their teen years or late teen years or early 20s and act like they're adults and that they actually have a life worth, looking after. Since they can't, grow the fuck up, I don't associate with them anymore. I've disconnected from them altogether. Because I don't want to hang around or be around people who sell drugs. I don't want to be around people who get into fights all the time over dumb shit. I don't want to get involved with the kind of people that stay in trouble with law enforcement all the time. And Breonna Taylor, I don't know. She might have been a good person. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know anything about her. Might have been a good person, for all I know. But she didn't keep good company. I said that weird. She didn't keep good company, and that bit her in the ass. Yeah, I don't think that she should have died. Let's not get that twisted, because somebody's going to try to take what I say out of context. I don't think that she should have died as a result of that encounter. But at the same time, I think it could have been handled better. What they should have done, what the boyfriend should have done, they should have called the police, which they did, but after calling the police, they should have barricaded themselves in the bedroom. Shut themselves in there. And if the police had told them, hey, we got officers at your door, that's who's trying to get in, I don't know why they wouldn't tell them that. If the officers are openly announcing themselves as police, because I think even the boyfriend said that he might have heard them, but he didn't know for sure, something like that. Don't quote me on that. I just think maybe it could have been handled better. I think maybe there's some ways that maybe the officers could have handled the situation better, and there's ways that, Breonna and her boyfriend could have handled it better. If you didn't hear them knocking or anything, why would you make your way towards the door? If you didn't hear them knocking or anything, why would you yell out to them? Who is it? Who is it? I'm overthinking it. I really don't care too much about all that. I'll just say that the way people are reacting to it, regardless of who did what, right or wrong, in a situation, Breonna or the police, her boyfriend or the police, the people reacting to her tragedy, are reacting wrong. They're reacting the wrong way about it. If anything, what you're doing, destroying these neighborhoods, destroying downtown Main Street, and looting and rioting and assaulting people, and then trying to make it a white issue. It's not helping anybody. It's definitely not respecting her memory. If you think that she's any bit of a good person or a respectful person, how are you honoring her memory? By acting like thugs and criminals. But that's what people have been doing. They've been destroying entire neighborhoods, entire city blocks, to try to get some kind of point across. And it doesn't help anybody. It's supposed to. It's supposed to find my way out of here, but I can't figure out how to get out of here. Crap. my neighbors go. I don't think they can hear me. I'm not being that loud. I'm not talking that loud. Of course, again, the acoustics in these apartments are... Whew, yeah. The walls are pretty thin in these apartments. They weren't constructed very well. But I know I'm not being that loud. But like my downstairs neighbors, they're always loud. They'll sit there and yell at their kid for, every 30 minutes. Yell at their kid, "Stop it! Stop it! Why are you crying? I don't know, why'd you get off your fucking ass, your fat ass, and go see what's up with the kid?" Sit there and watch him hit on the walls and stuff, and watch him sit here and fuss and whine, for 20 minutes at a time, and then get on to him, 10 minutes later when it starts to get on your nerves. I think I found the exit, maybe. Yeah, my neighbors, I don't know if it's a kid's drum set or maybe there's a boyfriend or something, or, that stays there or visits that has a drum set up there, but or down there, but they let the kid get on the drum set. What idiot gets a drum set for an apartment? What moron does that? And yeah, I'm gonna be harsh enough to call them a moron, because it's a stupid thing to do. It's one thing if you have a house to yourself. When you got, two other people living next to you, directly next to you, on the other side of the wall from you, don't get a drum kit. Or if anything, get one of those electric drum kits. Get one of the electric ones that you can hook your headphones up to, and all the sound goes through the headphones. So, other people don't have to listen to your kid fucking blast on those cymbals for upwards of an hour. Okay, that's where I came from. This is the exit. I like the atmosphere in this game. Wow, the light is real bright in here. It almost hurts my eyes. I think I made like a Mario style thing here. I'll have to go check that out in a second. I know I made everything you see like around here I've created. As far as the structures go. This whole thing here I created myself. The bridge, all of that. Pit, little fire pits on the side. Just to give it some kind of ambiance. I don't even remember making this. We'll check this out and then I'll go see if I can find the Mario world or area that I made. Oh, why does my character go so slow on here? I guess now I gotta be at the point where I practically whisper on the mic, because the way my neighbors carry on, if they hear me even in the slightest, to them that's like code word for let's be as loud as we can possibly be. Yeah, I think I was just experimenting with this area. Yeah, I'm not going to go through all that. There's no telling how far back all that goes. Am I even still recording? Oh, okay, yeah, I am. Just making sure. Yeah, man, it's making sure to let me know I'm still recording. Alright. It's kind of neat that the game actually has a virtual image of your camera facing you so you know what direction you're in at all times. I guess that's mostly for people who are standing up when they play the game. I sit down when I play this game. Can't get up these stairs for crap. Okay. Continue to go very slow. How long it took me just to get to the exit. There has to be a way to move faster. Let's see. Where's the options at? When you have to have options. What's this thing doing? Oh. Well, I'm stupid. I forgot I have to go to my controller. You can tell I'm not paying any attention at all. Options. Controls. No. Those are the kind of control options I was thinking of. So there's no running in this game. You can't move faster. It's kind of neat how you can see the smoke coming off the fire like that. Oh, hey, there we go. That works too. I think it's snowing over there. Or is it the stars? I don't know if that's supposed to be the stars. I think that was like an experiment I was working with earlier. No, I think the Mario thing that I did, I think that was on Minecraft maybe. I made like an entire Mario world, like you know when he goes down the pipe, and I can't remember the name of like the little nether world that he goes into. Shit, it's been a while since I played NES. But just look at this environment though. This is really, really nice. Wow. I mean, that alone is enough reason to want to play this game in VR. Oh, wow. The Aurora Borealis. Saturn there. Is that Saturn or Jupiter? Either way, it looks very close. Alright, well, everybody, I want to go ahead and cut off this broadcast. I hope y'all enjoyed. So, like I said, if you have any opinions on anything I've said thus far, leave a like and comment on the comment section below. And have a good day. Peace, love, chicken grease, all that good stuff.